What's going on, you guys? Welcome to my live. It is Friday, March 3rd? Yes, March 3rd. It's Friday, March 3rd. Welcome to my live. I'm so excited to have you guys here. Today, we're going to talk about the differences versus paying somebody to fix your credit for you or fixing your credit yourself. So let me know where you're tapping in from. Excited to have you guys here. We have some SZA playing because she's my favorite. I think she's a lot of people's favorites, but don't worry, I'll turn it down when we actually get into the actual training. So what's going on? Let me know where you're tapping in from, and let me know if you're currently in the process of fixing credit yourself or if you've paid people to do it for you. So let me know. Hello, Atlanta. Welcome. And I know I always say, let me know where you're tapping in from. I am in Pennsylvania, so I am tapping in from PA. We're outside of Philadelphia, in the suburbs. Hope everybody's having a good Friday. Very excited to talk to you guys today, because I've had a lot of people DM me asking about if Mikhail and I fix people's credit for them. And the answer is no, we don't, right? We actually teach people how to take their own power back when it comes to their own credit. Because the thing is, they don't teach you about credit in school. And if your parents teach you, a lot of the times they're missing something or they don't know it fully. And if your parents taught you all about credit and you know everything and you're good, then that's amazing. My parents did not do that, okay? They did not teach me anything about credit. The only thing they taught me is that if you get a credit card, it should be used for emergencies only, which we know that that's not the case. I paid someone, didn't see results, and now learning myself. Yeah, see? That's the thing. I had the same experience. I was like, I feel like I was lazy, right? But maybe I was just busy. Combination of both, probably. I was working full time, had 2 kids, paid somebody $500 to fix my credit, 0 results. And I was so mad because I was in like a desperate situation to have my credit fixed because I needed a new vehicle, like really bad. And my credit was so bad that I knew that if I went to a dealership that I wouldn't be able to buy the vehicle that I wanted, let alone be able to afford it because my credit was so bad, right? I was working a full-time job, but I knew that I was going to end up paying, $400, $500 a month for a car. And I wanted to get my credit fixed so that I could get a better rate, which in turn would get me a smaller payment amount. So she didn't do anything for me. I ended up going to get a new car, and I ended up having to pay a lot of money per month. And I got actually screwed over. I got put into a lease when I didn't know it was a lease. Okay, I went to CarVision. Don't go to CarVision. They suck. Okay? Unless if you're gonna buy the car straight up, then that's fine. But anyway, so let's talk about, let me turn this music down a little bit. Let's talk about the benefits of fixing your own credit. All right, you can still let me know where you're tapping in from if you want. So the first number one thing about fixing credit yourself versus paying somebody else is you're going to gain the education, okay? Now, when Mikhail and I started fixing our own credit, we purchased a couple different courses to figure it out, but we still had to go through trial and error to figure it out, right? We would pull our credit bureaus or pull our 3 credit bureau reports, and we would look at all of them. We'd try to diagnose what was what. And the courses were pretty good, but they left a lot out. Like we weren't learning about the consumer law. We didn't know our rights. We really had to trial and error to figure out what worked and what didn't. So by purchasing a course like ours, because we have gone through the trials and errors and we've purchased other people's courses, and Mikhail and I have been building courses, period, for years, for 8+ years, we've been building online courses for people. And we know how to build really good structured courses. So one of the benefits of purchasing a course like ours is we're going to teach you the mindset behind fixing your credit, because it does require a positive mindset. You don't want to go into fixing credit with a negative mindset and thinking that, it's not going to work, Thank you. Appreciate that. Someone said I'm beautiful. Thank you. You have to have that positive mindset going into it, because if you go into it with a negative mindset, it's not going to work in your favor. Okay, you're going to get easily discouraged. If something comes back, you don't know what to do, you might just give up. And then you're going to say that, oh, it didn't work, when in reality, you didn't work. You didn't put in the work. So mindset is super important when it comes to fixing your credit, and that's the first thing that we teach, the very first thing, okay? The next thing you're going to learn is actually how to pull your credit report and analyze it the right way and break it down. I'm a huge list person, so I like to have something in front of me, and I pull out old-fashioned notebook and a pen, and I'll sit there and I'll write down, okay, these are all of my negative items, right? And something that I did was I was like, okay, like this is really overwhelming. Like there's a lot going on, because I had a lot going on in my credit report. So I was like, I really want to focus on one credit bureau at a time, or one credit reporting agency, because they're not really bureaus. But so what I did is I started working on the credit reporting agency that didn't have as many negative items and as many blemishes as the rest. And there's a couple benefits to doing that. It's going to be less overwhelming. It's going to allow you to focus on just one thing if you're somebody that gets easily distracted, right? And then after you fix that one credit reporting agency, like once you get that fixed and get all of your blemishes off and it looks good, then you can go and work on the next one. And a lot of times what might happen too is when you're fixing one, you might have some other things come off of the other one as well, right? So and then you're going to be able to factually dispute as well in the future, which just means like your credit report needs to be accurate and correct at all times across the board. So if you're fixing negative items on Equifax, right? And that's also, that same account is also reporting on TransUnion. Well, now let's say that you've removed that account from Equifax. Now, when you go to dispute that account on TransUnion, you can let them know it's not reporting on Equifax, it's not there. So you can use that to your advantage. Hey, Mikhail just hopped in. And if you guys have questions, like while I'm talking, please ask questions. I will definitely get to them as well. So that's some of the benefits of working on one credit reporting agency at a time. Hey. So the education, right? Because the education is lacking when it comes to credit, when it comes to banking, when it comes to finances, right? The only reason I knew anything about banking is because I worked at a bank. I was in banking for 16 years, right? And even working at the bank, I didn't know as much about credit as I do now. I knew that we pulled credit for loans. I knew that I knew what a personal guarantee was, because I knew that all of our millionaire and billionaire customers were personally guaranteeing all the loans, all the credit cards, anything that they were getting. So I understood that, right? But I didn't understand at the time how much you can leverage your credit once you have good credit. Like how you can really leverage it, and it opens up so many doors and so many opportunities. Like once I was able to fix my own credit, everything opened up. It's really what I think gave me the confidence and allowed me to be able to leave my job. If my credit wasn't good, and if I didn't have a business with business credit, I probably would still be working full time, because I wouldn't have that extra security, because that's what a job really creates for you. It creates like a false security in a way, because you're always counting on that paycheck, right? But the reason why I call it false security is because they can let you go at any time. That business might shut down. You don't really know what's going on behind the scenes of that business, especially with banking. Like we got bought out a couple times, right? Or we would buy other banks. And when that happens, you don't know if your job is going to be secure or not. You don't know if you're going to stay at that company. That company could let you go. And that happens all the time, not just in banking. That happens with other companies too. So one of the other benefits of being able to fix your credit yourself is you can get quicker results doing it yourself, right? Because here's the thing. If you hire somebody else and they've got hundreds of testimonials, thousands of testimonials, that means that they have a lot of clients that they're working on. And half the time, The person that you speak to on the phone isn't even working on your credit. They hire virtual assistants, or they hire other people that are overseas to fix your credit for you, right? And a lot of times they're lacking communication with you. You kind of just give them all of your information. You're like, here you go. And you don't really hear from them much, right? You don't really know what's going on until you see it on your credit report. And that's if you see it on your credit report. So with having quicker results with yourself, it's so different when you fix your own credit, because you're able to actually call these credit reporting agencies on behalf of yourself, because it's actually you calling them and letting them know, right? And I know that some people might not be comfortable on the phone, might not be comfortable talking to them, and that's fine, because when it comes to fixing your own credit, you don't have to call. I didn't call every time. The only time that I called the credit reporting agencies was when I was removing hard inquiries, because it really speeds up the process when you get on the phone and call. But when I was fixing my credit, I was working full time, and it just didn't make sense for me and my situation to call, early in the morning on my way to work, or call while I was at work, How do I get into Navy Federal? I have a pinned post on my page. You can go and watch that. The other thing about being able to fix your own credit is you're going to learn your rights as a consumer, because a lot of people don't understand the law, all right? And early on, when Mikhail and I bought other people's courses, that's something that we didn't understand either. Like, we weren't educated on it, like from the courses that we purchased, and we just simply didn't know. So the benefits of being able to fix your credit yourself is you can go out there and actually read the law, okay? And you can use the law like 15 USC 1666B, which is timing of payments, and you can use that law to help you to reverse late payments, okay? And a lot of people will say to me too, I'm kind of getting off track, but not really, with late payments, they'll say like, Dominique, like I have so many late payments, like what should I do? Well, you have to really like weigh all of your options, because if you have a lot of late payments, are they older than 2 years? Like, are they that old? Because if that's the case, like if you don't have any within the last 2 years, then those late payments might, and I quote, might not be hurting you like you think that they are, right? Because if you have other accounts reporting that you maybe had late payments on, or they have other, they're in collections and things like that, those things might actually be hurting you more than those late payments from 2 years ago. So in that circumstance, what I would recommend is that you go and remove the negative items that are currently on your credit report, that, and forget about that account with a ton of late payments on it. Save that for last, because once you remove the other negative items, you're going to see your score start to improve, and then you can replace some of those cards or the collection accounts that you're removing with other credit builder accounts like Self-Lender or Rental Karma, and those are going to add positive history to your credit report. And then you can analyze your credit again and find out for sure if those late payments from 2 years ago are still affecting your credit score. And if they are, then at that time you're going to want to utilize the law, send a goodwill letter, like do what you got to do to be able to fight those late payments. So does anybody have any questions? I know I'm kind of like talking. So let me know. I'm just going to go through here and say hi to some people. Whew. It is Friday. I still have more to teach. I just wanted to take a break for a second, see if anybody has any questions. Who's fixing their credit themselves? Is anybody currently in the process of fixing their credit? And if you are fixing your credit yourself, is there anything that is like tripping you up? Like anything that you're like, is there any roadblock, or are there any roadblocks that you're hitting? How long does it take? So that's not really like a generic question that I can answer. It can take anywhere from 30 days, even less than that. I actually had somebody that completely changed her whole report, fixed everything in 20 days. So what it comes down to is it really comes down to what is on your credit report. Like, do you have negative student loans? Do you have late payments? Do you have charge-offs? Do you have collections? And that's something that we really dive into within our Credit Essentials bundle. The specific course is called the Magic Eraser course that you get in there. And we actually talk about how to analyze your credit report so that you can figure out about how long it'll take. But for like Mikhail and I, we were able to get everything done in under 90 days. And that's pretty typical. It also depends on how much time you can put into it too. Because fixing your credit, you don't need to have a ton of time to fix your credit. It doesn't have to be a wham bam thing, like real quick. Like, it doesn't have to be like that. You can take your time with it and you're still gonna get it done. So it depends on what all you have on there. Right now, 3 months. You've been working on your credit for 3 months? Is that what that means? Removing hard inquiries. You're having a hard time removing hard inquiries? Man, I feel like hard inquiries are the easiest thing to work on. What have you done so far to remove hard inquiries? Removing derogatory accounts that's paid in full. So if you have derogatory accounts that are paid in full, you can definitely get them removed. You just have to continue to dispute them. Because a lot of times you'll get verified letters, right? Like, they come back and they say that they verified the debt, but you need to know what step you need to take from there and what consumer law you need to use to your advantage to go from there. But for the person, yes, Mikhail, for the person that is struggling with removing hard inquiries, I think that you should look into getting our 72-hour inquiry removal guide, which is actually included in our Credit Essentials bundle, because we had, Gab actually removed 24 inquiries in 24 hours. I actually have the screenshot and I can share it. Hold on. I forgot I screenshot it this morning. All right, so you can't read what it says, but she said hard inquiries removed from my client's report in 24 hours. 24 hard inquiries is what it is. You can't really see it because it zooms in on the picture. But she was able to remove all of them within 24 hours. Like crazy. But yeah, just started on them, but is there a good way to remove them? There is. There's a process to it for sure. So one of the first things you want to do is you want to, like, I always say that you should freeze the secondary bureaus. I don't care if you're just removing hard inquiries, if you're, disputing collections, anything like that. That should always be your one of your first steps, because they don't really need to be unfrozen, period. Please share more of those. Okay, Mikhail. I don't know how many more screenshots I have. I will share some more testimonies. But yeah, when you're removing hard inquiries, another thing that you can do too is just pick up the phone and call. Good time to call is early in the morning if you want to get a hold of them. And just another tip, I would call and ask to speak to a U.S. representative too. I had somebody who removed, I wonder if I have hers screenshot. Let me see if I can find it. But she removed, hold on, let me find her. I don't know if I have it on here. Hang on. I'm going to find it. Because she was calling, and she had to call so many times, and she finally got on the phone with somebody who had helped her previously, which was crazy, and she was able to remove all of the accounts that she wanted to remove. Let me find it. Let's see. Would like any help? Yeah, if you want help, definitely grab our Credit Essentials bundle, because here's the thing too with our courses, right? So a lot of courses you'll buy and that's it. You're on your own, right? Our course is do it yourself. However, you get access to our private Facebook group, which is only exclusive to members only. And we answer questions there on the daily. Just this morning, I answered, I think, 11 questions this morning, something like that. So we're constantly, and when I say we, like myself and Mikhail are both actively in the group answering questions. So you're definitely going to get the help that you need. So if you hit any roadblocks, we can point you in the right direction of where in the course, or if there's additional information that you need, then we can get that for you. Yeah, it was Dawn at Experian. Let me see. I think it was, yeah, there she is. Okay. So she said, oh, it wasn't Dawn. Her name was Deanna. I think her autocorrect yesterday when I was responding had autocorrected it to Dawn or something. Okay, so she said that the first time she called, she said that she would be able to get the accounts deleted within 1 to 2 days, but it was still in dispute status, so she couldn't do it. So the lady was able to take them out of dispute status for her and told her to call back tomorrow, like meaning the next day. So she called back the next day, kept getting the runaround from other people, okay? Kept calling, and like, she was able to get back on the phone with the same lady from the day before after she called, let me see, it's 20 times, okay, she called. After the 20th time, she was able to get back on the phone with the lady she talked to the day before. She remembered her and told her that, told me she got all the documents and she would delete it in 24 to 48 hours. 5 hours later, she was able to get them removed. And it looks like she deleted two negative accounts from her credit report. There she is. Hey! I think when you first typed your, like testimony in there, I think it said Dawn at first, didn't it? Or maybe it auto-corrected in mine. So funny. Yeah, like that's what they'll do. And that's why having a positive mindset going into the credit repair process is so important, because if she didn't have a positive mindset, she would have given up after call number 2, maybe even call number 1, right? And she would have just been like, forget it. It is what it is. Like, maybe it'll come off, maybe it won't. But she was persistent and she kept moving forward. And that's because she has a positive mindset and she knows and believes that it's going to work. So, yeah, so she was able to do that. And that was pretty amazing. I know we had a couple other ones too. Yes, so funny. Because I was like, wait, because I saw somebody else comment Deanna, and I was like, I thought it was Dawn. Yes, so many people give up after the first no. That is so true. And you can't do that. Like, I'll even have people that say, like, oh, I called the bank and asked them if they would reverse my late payment, and they said no. You know? And I'm like, okay. So pick up the phone and call somebody else at the bank, because they have call centers with tons of people in them, because they have tons of customers that call every single day, and each person's going to have a different response. So you want to keep calling. Like, don't give up just because of the first no. If I gave up after the first no, man, I would be at work full time. There are so many opportunities that wouldn't be available to me now if I gave up when I heard no the first time. If my kids gave up the first time I said no, that'd be great. But they don't. I said after this call I quit. I was tired, but that was the one. Oh. So, I absolutely love learning consumer law now, but how do you dissect and effectively study consumer law and then put it all together in layman terms? It's a big challenge, but worth it. Yeah, it's really difficult. So there's actually, here, let me look it up. So you want to look up the Cornell School of Law. And there's actually like, what do they call it? Like a, Mikhail, what do they call it in the beginning? It's like definitions, right? They have like the different terms with the different definitions. So as you're going through it, there's going to be words that might like be like, whoa, like the placement of that word, and I just don't know what it means in this sentence, right? Like, you need to understand what certain terms mean when they're used in the law. So, what? So it's going to be a lot of you reading the law, and then you having to go and look up a couple different definitions of what that word means specifically. Let me look up. So you look up the Cornell School of Law. Hold on. But yeah, we break it all down in the course. Like, that's something that Mikhail and I spend a lot of time doing. And that's not something that we have to do by any means. Like, it's just something that we understood we needed to know if we really truly wanted to help people to be able to fix their credit. So we've studied specific laws within the FCRA, Fair Credit Reporting Act, and we've taken the time to really diagnose everything. And then we break it down for you in layman terms. But a lot of it is like Mikhail and I reading it, throwing like information back and forth, because when different people read things, people understand things differently. So me having a banking background, and I also was looking at a lot of legal documents in my role too, because I was in commercial real estate. So, and we worked with lawyers half the time when we would do paperwork. Like all of our documents for our loans and loan closing was all lawyer prepared. So that helps me because I had to review those documents when I was in banking. So I have a little bit of knowledge as to like how things are worded. So that definitely helps. And Mikhail actually like wanted to pursue law when he was in school. So those things are very interesting to him, and like he gets it on a different level too. So between him and I, and just being able to do our own research and really studying and spending the time with it, and also doing trial and error, we were able to break it down for people. Is there a way for the dispute letters to be editable after downloading them from the course? Yes. So we have them in a couple different formats. It's Pages, because Mikhail and I have Macs, so our computers save them in Pages versus Word. But we also have everything available in PDF format. So with that, what you can do is you would just copy all the text and then just paste it in a Word document. That's the easiest way to do it. Oh, and then Mikhail answered. Okay. Let me see here, though. I feel like I was missing some other notes that I wanted to talk about. Oh, the other benefit of being able to fix your credit yourself and knowing how to do it is you're setting a good example for your family. If you have kids, if you have relatives, if you have parents that maybe don't have great credit, if you have sisters or brothers or cousins or aunts, that don't have great credit, you can assist them by just educating them a little bit, right? Letting people know simple things like having their utilization under 30%, because the average person should have their utilization under 30%. Now, when we're talking like business credit and applying for credit, you really want to have your utilization under 10%. But by just letting family members know, like, hey, you can really help to increase your score by simply having your utilization be under 30%. That's huge for some people. They don't know that. A lot of them might have them maxed out, close to maxed out, and it's not because they can't afford to pay them some of the time, right? They just might not know that is what is hurting their credit score. So just being able to have the knowledge and share it with other people is super valuable. My kids, right? Our kids, like people's kids, you can have the opportunity to get their credit like started before they even turn 18. Because a lot of times, like if you have good credit, certain credit cards allow for you to add your children as authorized users on your credit cards. That doesn't mean that you're handing that credit card over to your 16-year-old to go and buy gas. Like, no, you don't. They might not be ready for that. But you can start to educate them about credit, and you can also be working on their credit behind the scenes. So when they turn 18, what better gift than to have an awesome credit score? When I turned 18, I went and I did a couple things. I got a tattoo. I did all the things that I was now allowed to do without having to ask, right? Talk about rebel. So I went and got a tattoo, and I also went to and applied for 2 credit cards. As soon as I got those credit cards, what did I do? I went shopping because I thought it was free money. I didn't understand how it worked. Then I paid my minimum payment. Oh, thank you, Mikhail. I forgot to paste that. I know. Mikhail's in the other room. And I meant to pin that. Just been talking too much. I did it in Word and it pasted as a big paragraph. Yeah, if that happens, you're just gonna have to like tab down and stuff. It shouldn't be difficult though. How do you benefit your score most when you have money to pay collections? So honestly, paying collections is a complete personal decision, okay? Because you can dispute those collections, and we actually have, like if you have the collection letters, you can actually invoice them for the violations against you on those collection letters, right? And most of the time you can get them removed. Now, that doesn't mean that that debt might not be sold to another collection agency in the near future, but if that happens, you can go and do the same exact thing that you did before, right? If you decide to pay a collection, you want to pay for deletion. However, if you're paying for deletion, make sure it's in that letter before you pay, okay? Because like I have personally paid off some collection companies, right? And some have deleted them, some have not. So you want to make sure that you have that letter, because that letter is your evidence. Like when it comes to fixing your own credit and you're getting different letters in the mail from collection agencies or from the credit reporting bureaus, you want to keep all that information. You might even be getting emails. You want to print those emails out or save them in a folder, right? You want to have as much evidence as possible, because when you have to go back and dispute when things come back verified and you're like, no, like I'm not okay with that. And this is why you can provide that evidence that you have. And it's really important that you do that. So yes, you can pay for collections if you so choose, but that does not mean that it's 100% going to be removed from your credit report. So that's why it's important to have that evidence. I don't think the blocked accounts and sent them to the other bureaus. Is there a way to go back in and get it blocked? I don't think I don't think they blocked the accounts and sent them to the other credit bureaus. So if you need to, you might have to do it again. Like you might have to send that letter again. There you go. She said, I have my son on 5 of my credit cards since 2020. He turned 17 on Saturday. That's awesome. And that's like so powerful, like to be able to do that for your kids. And like, I'm gonna tell you right now, like when your kids turn 18, unless if they're like my child or you're somebody that talks about credit all the time, like Michaela and I do, they're not gonna know much like about how powerful it is for them to have that. Like for them to be able to go and buy their own car, like that's crazy. I wasn't able to buy my own car at 18. You know, my parents bought me I had a $500, and I thought it was amazing. I had a Volvo 1987 Volvo DL, and it was like navy blue. All right. So that was my first car. I loved it. I didn't care. Pay your credit utilization to 0 first if you have any, and just dispute collections. Yeah, that's what I would do. Like if you have money, instead of paying off those collections, I would pay down any credit cards that are open. Yeah, that was my first car. But oh my God, if I was 18 and had good credit, I had a job. I didn't go to college. I went into banking right away, so I had a good job. I could have afforded to buy myself a car, because that was a long time ago. I'm 33. So that was what? Long time ago. I don't feel like doing the math. Braxton will be getting a beater to start for sure. Try telling that to Brax. He's so funny. So like I have an Audi A4, like my car, and Braxton always says like, "Can I have this car when I turn 16?" I'm like, "Yeah, right. Not happening." Okay, so I already talked about helping others. Oh, the other amazing thing about fixing credit yourself, learning how to do it, is you can actually start a business out of it and start making money. I can't tell you how many people we've had. I probably could if I went through our course and actually like picked the people. But we've had so many people that have had so much success with removing negative items for themselves that they've started a business out of it. And a lot of them have actually quit their full-time jobs, and they're now making more money than they did at their jobs by helping other people. Like, what's better than that? Like the satisfaction that you get out of fixing somebody's credit and being able to change their entire financial situation, it's incredible. I know we've talked about Melanie Bennett before. She was able to fix her credit in 20 days, and then she was able to go on and get approved for over $112,000 in funding, okay? She messaged me yesterday, and she's like, "Dominique, you have no idea how much you guys have changed my lives. Like, I owe it all to you." What? Like, me? Like, I didn't do it. All I did was give you the steps. You know what I mean? Like, I gave you the course and like, here's what you got to do. But it all comes down to you. Like, if you're going to take the action and you're going to actually fix your credit and follow the steps and not give up, and then you go on to apply for funding. Like, that was on her. That wasn't me. I didn't do that, but I just thought it was really amazing that she was able to go and do that. So thank you both. You're welcome. How young would you recommend your children before adding them? I know that you can add some as early as 13. So again, that's personal preference. Like, you want to add them to your credit cards that really stay under that 30% utilization. Because if you add them to the other credit cards that have higher utilization, like, that's not going to benefit them. So I don't know how that's possible. He's not 18 yet. What's possible? But yeah, I know there's some credit cards you can add them as early as 13. I want to say Discover is one of them. There's like a list out there. Like, if you go to Google, here, let me do it now. What credit cards I add my child to? I'm going to look it up for you. Yeah, Discover it, cashback. Hold on. Oh, darn. I'm going to find it. Hold on. 13. American Express credit cards allow you to add authorized users to your account since they're at least 13 years old. Okay? Crazy. They can benefit from being added to your account, and they may earn cashback rewards or travel rewards, but you can track their purchases and set spending limits for them. So that's even better. Like, you can add them to your credit card, and they can benefit from the positive things on your credit, right, on that credit card. The history, no late payments, right? The low utilization, all the positives. But if in the future you want to actually give them a card, you can actually set those spending limits. So I actually took Brax into Navy Federal. I had him open up an account. He wanted to put his own money in there. He did that. And they don't have like debit cards for kids, but you can buy a prepaid card from them, which works in the same way, but it's a good thing because you can actually transfer how much money you want to transfer onto the card online from the bank account. So Braxton has did we open a savings? We might have opened a checking too. I can't remember. I have to look. But he would be able to move, I would be able to move money for him into that account, and then he can use it to, he doesn't go anywhere without me where he would really need a card, but it's going to teach him how to use the card the right way. So Capital One is sending him credit card offers in the mail. Oh, that's crazy. But yeah, they try to get you early. That's funny. I wonder if you can get a credit. I doubt it. It's probably 18. But they're probably just getting... You said he just turned 17. So that's crazy. Can you get a credit card at... Let's see. It says you generally have to be at least 18 to open your own credit card. That's because before you turn 18, you're typically too young to enter into contracts. And that can include things like credit card agreements. Okay. Yeah, it says until they turn 18, becoming an authorized user is typically the only way your teen will be able to get access to a credit card. So there's that answer. I Google everything. Anyway, let's see. So yeah, if you're, what?
So Chase and City, there's no age limit.
Chase and City?
And in Discover, I think it's 15.
So Chase and City, there's no age limit to add them. And then who else? City, or you said who?
Discover is 15 years old and U.S. Bank is 16 years old.
Discover is 15 and U.S. Bank is 16 years old. That's crazy. That's crazy that they sent them that early.
BusinessInsider.com.
That's cool. But yeah, so a lot of people have gone on to learning how to fix their credit themselves, and then they're also fixing credit for other people and actually starting a business. So somebody that I can think of off the top of my head, is Kivon. She actually quit her job. She actually joined our Credit Influencer Academy to learn how to scale her credit repair business to $20,000 a month. And she made $12,456, crazy I remember that, $12,456 within her first 2 weeks. That's before she even launched her system. Bank of America as well, no age limit. Thank you. Chase has no age limit for sure. Yeah, that's what Mikhail was saying. For the authorized user. That's crazy. Those are definitely things to implement. As long as your credit is good, like as long as you take care of that credit card. If you don't, then I wouldn't add them. Because that can hurt them. You don't want to hurt them. What else was I going to say? I know there's a bunch of other people that have started business as well. Who else has, Mikhail? Ashley has started a business. Gab has started a business. She's usually on right now. I haven't seen her hop in. I think Denise has. Who else? Can't think of who else, but there's been a lot of people. There's actually even been people that already have a credit repair business and they buy our course. And they've told me, Nate has a credit repair business. He told me yesterday that he already had a credit repair business and he bought our course, and he said that, you know, our course is able to take his business to the next level. What? It's crazy. Alyssa too. Yes, Alyssa. Key as in Keymon. Mikhail? Oh, he can't hear me, I guess. He must have his headphones on. Anyway, yeah, there have been a lot of people that have been able to do it. So when it comes to weighing, you know, whether you're going to fix your credit yourself or if you're going to pay somebody to do it for you, you know, it doesn't matter how busy you are. You can take the time to fix your credit yourself. But if you're in a dire need situation, you really need your credit fixed, you want to make sure that you're getting in touch with the right people, because there are a lot of people out there that don't do and don't follow through on the promises, you know, that they make to you, or, you know, and it also comes down to, I want to say this too, it also comes down to you, because if you do pay somebody else to fix your credit, there are some things that you need to do too, and you need to understand what the expectations are before you pay somebody to fix your credit for you. Because if you pay somebody to fix your credit and you go out there and you're applying for more credit, during that process, that's not going to help them any. Like, that's not what you want to do. You want to make sure that you understand how credit works. So even if you do pay somebody to fix your credit, there's going to be a benefit to also learning how to do it yourself too, so that you know how to proceed. Because it's like anything else, right? Like, if you pay somebody to take away a problem for you, you're really not solving the problem, because the problem was you. Like, I had to take ownership of that. It was me. I was a spender. I didn't know anything, but I didn't seek the information at the time when I was younger, right? Because I didn't know. But I also didn't try to know either when I was younger. So the problem is us. The problem is you. If your credit isn't where it needs to be, it's because of you. It's your fault. You're the one swiping it. You're the one entering it, entering those numbers online when you go to make purchases, you know? You have to understand the fundamentals of credit and how it really works, so that after you get your credit fixed by somebody else, if that's the route that you go, you know how to rebuild your credit. Because just because you go and have somebody fix your credit for you doesn't mean that your score is going to go up. Because a lot of times what happens is if you have a lot of collections that you're removing and things like that, it can actually lower your score before it increases your score. But there are ways that you can add credit builder accounts to your credit report to help replace that history that you just removed, right? I have collections that's reporting only on 2 out of 3 reports. Is that grounds for automatic deletion? So it's not like, sort of. So what you would want to do is you would want to factually dispute. I would also dispute using the method that we teach within our Magic Eraser course. Do you have that? Let me know, because that would definitely work for you. But yeah, so if you know, you want to understand those credit builder accounts, and a lot of the times you can go and get those credit builder accounts now before you even pay somebody to fix your credit. or before or while you're fixing your own credit. Someone asked this today in the group. They said they have clients and they were asking, like, should I tell them to go and get credit builder accounts now? You know? And I said, yeah, you can definitely do that. The thing is that we don't tell you to do, like, because I don't think you should, is you don't want to tell your clients or whatever, whoever, to go, and you don't want to do this, go and pay for an authorized user trade line while you're in the credit repair process, because it's going to be a waste of money. Because for those, you typically have to pay, you know, like a monthly or every 2 months or every 3 months. It depends on where you buy them from. You're paying for that to report to your credit. So however, it is good to get added to other people's credit cards if they're like friends or family members that are open to allowing you to benefit from the positives of their credit, of that good credit card account. If you can be added as an authorized user on there for free, do that now. Like, you don't need to wait. The only thing is, I don't advise you to go out and buy an authorized user trade line when your credit sucks now, because it's really not going to help you. It's going to be a complete waste of money. Might increase your score, but you still have those negative accounts on there. Link, please. Okay, so if you want the link, it is first link in my link tree. So if you go to my bio or the pinned post, like if you click Mikhail, like click Mikhail's name and go to his link tree, it's the first link. Anybody have any questions? I'm here answering questions for free. Oh, also tell me what you guys are doing with your tax returns. Do you have any plans for your tax returns? I know something that a lot of people do is they'll go and buy like a new car. I did that. I used that money as a down payment. Not this year, but I don't think I'm gonna get a return this year. But I've done that in previous years. You know, where I've used it to buy things that I didn't necessarily need, or things that weren't an investment. But yeah, what's something positive? Like, what are you going to invest your money, your tax return? Like, how are you going to double that or even triple that this year? Hello. Hi, Kim. I'm just getting on. I said I'm using my money to invest this time around. Yes, ma'am. Very smart. And the good thing about investing your money, if you purchase a course or something like that, you can also like deduct that as well. Use that as a deduction in the future. I used to do that a lot too. I actually still do that all the time. But now that I have a business, I use like my business credit cards to invest into investments like that, like into buying courses and like learning more and investing into different trainings so that I can deduct it. More deductions I can have, the better. First start is my credit repair. Yes. Are you going to fix it yourself? Being that I don't have any collections on TransUnion or Experian, should you try a factual dispute the one still reporting on Equifax? Yeah, you can certainly do that. Absolutely. And if you don't have any collections on TransUnion or Experian, you can actually start to apply for credit on those too, because that's a thing too that some people just don't understand. Also, not saying that you don't, but I'm saying like this is something that I can talk about too, is some people don't understand that when you apply for credit, not every credit card or every bank is going to pull from all 3 credit reporting agencies. A lot of banks only pull from one. So Discover pulls from Equifax, right? Navy Fed pulls from TransUnion. Is that right, Mikhail? I think it's TransUnion on the personal side. I know it's I think it's Experian on the business side and TransUnion on the personal side. So a lot of people didn't know that, you know? Girl, I don't have the time or patience to do it. I've already started paying someone to do it monthly. Nice. To the person that commented credit, you have to send a message to either Mikhail or myself. and then you'll get access to the class. But yeah, I've been on here for a while, so I'm going to hop off in a couple minutes, but I'll answer a couple more questions if anybody has any questions. I'm kind of skeptical about these people, though. We'll see in a few months. Yeah, I would go back and watch this live after I post it, because I actually talked about paying somebody else versus doing it yourself and the benefits of being able to fix it yourself. And I understand that you say, you don't have the time or the patience, but a lot of times the time, you don't need a lot of time to be able to fix it. The way that, if you invest into our course this year with your tax return, the way that we structure our courses are so easy to follow along with. Plus, you get access to our Facebook group. We have over 1,300 people in our group. We answer questions, we help people. So if you ever get stuck or hit a roadblock, you can ask questions within there. And there's other people that are amazing. Literally, when somebody gets results, so many people comment underneath and are just like, oh my God, congrats, it's amazing, blah, blah, how'd you do it? So I'd purchase a DIY package and I can just take the time on the weekend to do a little here and there. Yeah, you could do that. Hey, Angel. But yeah, if any of you have purchased our course, let me know if it's helped you. See, a lot of different people have DIY courses and they're just not that great. They don't really help. Or they're confusing. You don't have a place where you can go and get help and ask questions. There's just so many people that I feel like their heart isn't really in it to help people. They just kind of you pay them, and you don't really hear from them. I'm definitely going to get in with y'all because y'all are always answering questions. I know your course would be dope and helpful. Yes, it is. Our DIY course alone is 63 plus lessons, and we do live trainings and things like that too. We bring in people that we experts within our network of people, and we'll do live trainings and we'll post them for free as well. What if you already paid done to work on your credit? If you paid somebody already to fix your credit, are you paying, did you pay them a large lump sum and they're working on it now? I would need to know more info. Or did you pay them a while ago and they didn't do anything and they're not working on it anymore? Or are you paying monthly? Because if you're paying monthly, and if you wanted to redirect and get away from somebody doing it for you and do it yourself, then you can just tell them that you're going to do it yourself. But thanks for your service. I applied for Navy after they removed the collections and they approved. What? Girl, you need to put that in our group. Post that testimonial. That's amazing. Which one did you get? Did you get the cash rewards? Yeah. I love Navy Fed. Navy Fed is great. Actually, credit unions in general are great. But Navy Fed specifically, if you don't have a good credit score, it's okay. It doesn't mean that you can't get approved for some things. Because they have a lot of products that will help people that don't have good credit to help boost your score. Their secured card is great. I actually have some, let me look here. Hold on. I'm gonna look up Navy. So I actually use our Facebook group as Google because there's so much information in here. So I'm looking up Navy Federal Secured. Because I know somebody got a secured card. Here we go. Where is it? Where's the secured card? Hold on. I think because I typed in Navy Federal and not Navy Fed. Okay. Navy Fed secured. Here we go. Because I typed in Navy Federal. He said, I checked my balance today on my N Rewards secured card, and I got an increase to $2,000 limit on a secured card, okay? I had started with $300 secured, then got increased to $600 after 3 months, okay? Now increased to $2,000, and it's been only 6 months. Like, what? I didn't ask for any of these increases. It was automatic. I just confirmed that my account has now been upgraded to cash rewards, and the original $300 will be released in the next couple of days. First of all, huge takeaways from there, okay? He didn't ask for any of those increases, and it's a secured card, okay? Amazing. He was able to get it from a $300 limit to a $2,000 limit in a matter of 6 months. Amazing, right? They upgraded his card from a secured card to an unsecured card, and they're giving him or crediting back his $300 deposit that he made. There are so many banks that don't even do that. You put money down, they never give you back that security deposit. It's not truly a security deposit then, is it? I think it was the Platinum. People have been getting a lot of approvals with that Platinum. All right, let me go back. With business funding, is there a faster way than doing net 20 accounts? Yes, you want to leverage your personal credit. Michaela and I personally did not get any net 30s or anything. Like we didn't go that route because we understood that if we leveraged our personal credit that we would be able to qualify for business credit. And that's really important too, because if your business is brand new, like you can go and get credit cards and get approved for credit cards by personally guaranteeing them, especially if your credit is structured the right way. And that's really what we teach people. Like ultimately, that's what we want you to do. We want you to have good credit so that you can go and invest into things like creating a business, doing something that you love, not just creating a business to create a business, like create a business off of something that you enjoy doing. Hold on. Anyway, but yeah, we encourage people to start a business, invest, get business credit. But leverage your personal credit to get approved for business credit, doing something that you enjoy doing, something that you love doing. Something that Mikhail and I love and enjoy doing is actually helping people. And that's something that we've been able to do. I got approved from Navy to have an account with them. How do we get approved for credit? So one thing that you want to do, I actually have a post. It's not pinned. It's like somewhere, you're going to have to go through my reels. But to get approved for Navy Fed, I actually have a Navy Federal course. It's $47 one time, and you'll get access to the Facebook group if you just get that. So to get approved for a Navy Fed, you really, since you're already a member, that's the hardest part. You want to get pre-approved first. If you log in, you'll be able to get access to the pre-approval, and you want to do it really late at night. Like you don't want to do it before midnight. I would suggest after 1 a.m., after 2 a.m. Eastern time. If you're planning to save this live, make sure to put you don't own rights to music because IG might not let everyone see it. Yeah, it does that sometimes. I'll have to do that. So I have my EIN. What do you suggest for me to do as far as starting to try to build business credit? Do you have your LLC as well? Because you want to make sure that you have an LLC also. Girl, don't be typing and driving. I'm at a 730 score and I made sure it's structured correctly, so I need help leveraging my credit like you said. Which year programs should I start to get to start? So you'll want to get our business credit bundle. I'm the same way though. A lot of people text and drive. I'm just saying. I try to do it at the stoplights. Sometimes we think we're Superman, you know? I'll message you and I'll take the class. Thank you. You're welcome. Happy to help. 5 days to freedom. Oh, yeah. I always forget. We have so many courses. Yeah, so T-Money. Mikhail is saying our 5 days to freedom course is really, really good too. It's going to also teach you how to leverage your personal credit to get approved for business credit as well. That's a more thorough course. So if you're not sure like what you want to do in business. And we also teach you other ways to make money as well within that course. That's another good one to get to. It's $97 one time. It actually should be a lot more than that. Just got approved for a business checking, I'm assuming. Age 5 years, waiting for 2 derogatories to get removed, 650 score. What should be my next move? So, you want to wait for those derogatories to be removed, obviously. I would probably get some credit builder accounts to help to boost your score. Maybe look into Credit Strong, I believe is one. Also look at Self Lender as well. They're really good. Also, if you're a member of Navy Federal, their pledge loans are amazing. So like what you want to do for that is you want to Google it or call them and ask them about how it works, because they're really helpful. Like they're best customer service ever. So I would call Navy and ask them how their pledge loan works and how you want it to work, because I'm going to tell you, is you want to get the pledge loan. You want to pay it off anywhere between 80% and 90% before the pledge loan reports to your credit report, okay? And that's what's really going to boost your score, because you're paying it off already, basically. Just wanted to tell them about my approvals after 1 month of getting the course. Yes, I'm so happy you did that. You're the best. Drive safely. I've been sitting stuck for 2 years due to unexpected emergency surgery. Everybody, goes through things. I totally get that. It's difficult, and especially when things like that happen and you have good credit at the time, and sometimes you need to use some of those credit cards to cover the bills because you're not able to do the things, that you were able to do before. But that's also why it's so important to know the fundamentals of credit and how it works, so you can figure out how to manipulate your score and different things that you can do, so that if something like that happens, like something where you're incapacitated, you're not able to go to work, or you're not able to make the income that you could before, you have to hire people to help out with your kids and things like that. You're able to make better decisions, and yeah, that's just how it is. The more you know, you do better. Know better, do better. That's what it is. And it took me way down. It happens. You're not alone. And a lot of people will message me and be like, my score is like a 4 something, or my score is like a 5 something. Embarrassed by your score. Seriously. Do not let your score embarrass you. Mine is really bad too. Here comes the boss. Hello,
you.
sir. What, for allowing you to join?
Yes.
Hey, don't be fighting nobody today, or I'll kick you off.
All right. I appreciate all the value you've been dropping, though. It's been very valuable to me.
That I can, that's all I do.
Yes.
Sometimes I give away too much.
Sometimes. But it's Friday. It's Funding Fridays. We want to give the people some value. So you've been teaching them specifically how to fix up their credit, how to start fixing up their credit themselves.
Can you take your headphones off when you're talking? Can you are you able to disconnect them?
Yeah, hold on.
That's so much better.
All right.
Can I add this EIN? Can I add this EIN to current EIN on NAV? It's on Navy Federal. I'm not sure what that question means. If it's a completely separate business, then you're going to want to create a separate nav.com account, if that's what you're talking about. So I have my letter from the IRS with my EIN, and my business is an LLC. What would be my next move? So there's multiple things you're going to want to do to make sure that your business, it's one thing to have your personal credit structured the right way to get approvals, but there's also some things that you need to have done on the business side. You want to make sure that your business has a website, you have a email address, you have a phone number, all those things. in order to get approved. Because here's the thing, right? Like if you're going to the bank for a business approval of some kind, they're going to ask you like, okay, what's your business phone? Or if you think about it, like legit businesses have those things, right?
Right.
So you want to have the best first impression as possible when you go into the bank. So if you have all those things in place, like they're going to be like, all right, they're ready. You know, like I have a friend who opened up a hair salon a few years ago, right? I built her website. I, told her like, these are all the things that you need to do. She went and got like investors and things like that. But the investors like didn't just throw money in her face. They wanted to make sure that she had a business plan. She had all these things in place, like, and investors and lenders are one and the same. They want to make sure that you actually are prepared. You know what you're doing. You have a good head on your shoulders. Like, so that's why I always recommend when you go to these banks, when you open bank accounts, you should have all those things in place already so that they know and will take you serious. Okay. There's a lot of people out here that don't take business seriously, and you don't want to be in that category. So my suggestion to you, to know specifics on what you need and things like that, I have a business setup masterclass. It's really good, but I know that you were talking about also getting the personal credit bundle. So honestly, what I'd recommend for you is if you DM me, I will give you our funding essentials bundle link, which is not something that we have posted all the time. You'll get our personal credit bundle, our business credit bundle, and then you're going to get our business setup masterclass for free in there. And there's actually a huge discount. So if you were to buy everything a la carte, let me calculate it. I don't even have do I have a calculator on my computer, Mikhail?
Yeah, you do. If you type in calculator in the Finder.
Thank you, I found it.
Do I need to create a separate LLC aside from the consulting LLC to have an actual credit repair website aside from the funding site? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. Just have to have two separate websites.
So if you were to buy all three of those items a la carte, it'd be $191. But with the funding essentials bundle, it's $123.
Man, they seem to be. Yeah, Gab. So like, oh,
you got disconnected. Did your phone die? Oh, he got kicked out. Hold on. Not by me. He's gonna come back in. Here it comes. He's come back.
that's so funny. Yes, my mistake. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah, like you want to have like a specific site for funding, obviously, and for like when you get your Stripe account. I'm not sure if you have one already, but when you get your Stripe account, that same funding site is going to be like the same site that you use to give Stripe and everything like that. And that's how your money won't get frozen or anything like that. We've never had we have had our money frozen in Stripe before, but it was like in the very beginning, but we were able to get it out, and pretty much anybody who ever worked with us, they never get their money held up in Stripe. If they get it held up, they get it released the next day.
I know what to do. I know how to play the game. That's the thing. Like, if you don't know what you're doing or you don't know how to like I pretty much can solve any problem. Like, I know how to play the game. So if you ever get held up with something like and you need help, you let me know. What would be the total? Yeah, so the total with that funding essentials bundle is the total with the funding essentials bundle is $123 one time. You get access to our Facebook group, which is the best part, I think. I mean, like, our courses are amazing, but having a place where you can ask questions, and it's just such a positive group. It's so good. Like, it's so amazing. So I would hop on that. So if you DM me, I'll give you that link, because that link is not in my link tree. That's something special. I saw that influencer course. Just wanted to be sure about the LLC part. Yes. And you actually get, Gab, I wanted to let you know that with the system, you actually get a funding site along with it.
Making it rain. They got everything. They get
I
everything.
wanted to tell you that so that you don't go and get one built. So once you get to that point,
Yeah.
I can help you get that set up. It's
Yeah.
very easy. You really just have to put your logo on there.
Hmm. I had a buddy who had his money held up in Stripe last week, and he was like, "Oh, like what do I do? What do I do?" And like I was like, "Well, what site did you give him?" And he gave him his credit repair site. So he was like it's my buddy. He was like basically depending on me to like have him a funding site to give Stripe, or else he would have to pay somebody. And like people don't really move that fast because he had a time limit. So I was just like, whatever. I made him one. Dom's like, how long did that take? I was like, it took me an hour or whatever. But now, we have those templates for life.
Mm-hmm.
And his money got released the next morning. I woke up to that.
Yep.
Yeah, we already know the stuff that you could potentially run into.
Best.
Can I
Thanks. We
give
try.
them a little story now?
Hold
A
on.
little story.
I'm just going to join and let y'all walk me to my success. Yes, ma'am. You'll definitely be in good hands. That's for sure. All right, story time.
Now make sure that I'm good, like my voice is good on all right, bet. So now that Dominique gave you all the information on how to start fixing up your credit, right? So now, how do we get funding? What do we need to do? So all the things that we talk about, you need to have at least a 680 credit score. You need to have at least 2 credit cards over a $2,500 limit. You need to have low inquiries, low utilization. Okay.
Just those $2,500 cards, you want to make sure that they're your trade lines. It doesn't mean that you want to be an authorized user on somebody else's card with a $2,500 limit or more. I wanted to say that because a lot of people ask that. Keep going.
Yeah, so now you want to have at least 3 to 4 years of credit age, right? Doing this, I'm reading a testimonial of somebody who was able to get $112,000 in funding, right? In like 2 months, okay? Like 2 months of just running this play. So now, when your credit is at that level, you want to go to certain banks, right? And some of these banks, I'm going to give them to you right now, right? We talk about a lot of these banks all the time, but, okay. So Truist Bank, that's number 1, right? This is going to be a bank where you want to go and begin opening up a business bank account. You want to get a checking. You want to get a savings. And you want to put the minimum in there. So this person was able to get $25,000 on the personal side at Truist, and then $25,000 on the business credit card at Truist. If her business was over 2 years old, there would have been a high likely chance she would have got 25 to 50,000 on a business line of credit at Truist as well. But this is where she's at. So $25,000 business credit card, $25,000 personal credit card. So would you want to open up the checking account, the savings account? You want to put, I believe it's 50, at least the minimum in the checking, and then I believe you have to put 100 in the savings, okay? Whatever the minimums are, you have to put at least that in. At least. If you got more, you can do more. Okay. You want to let that marinate for at least 31 days, okay? At least 31 days. Now, you can go ahead and you can apply for the credit cards, okay? You can apply for the personal card and the business card. Now, it is most likely going to be 2 separate inquiries, okay? Now, there's other banks where you can run this exact same play. We ran this exact same play at Navy Federal. Now, with Navy Federal, the application, you can do it through the phone. So you call them and let them know I want to apply for the business card. They're going to open up a link inside of the portal for you to go ahead and fill out the information. And then they'll give you a response within about 5 to 10 business days, okay? But you have to open up the accounts, let it marinate. Go ahead.
With Navy Federal Business, if you if you're a sole owner in your business, then you're gonna have to. I believe you can fill it out online. Like they'll give you like a link or they'll show you where to go to apply. Now,
okay.
If you are you talking about I'm sorry, you're talking about the credit card or the account?
I'm talking about the business credit card.
Okay. If you are 2 owners or more, you have to fill the paperwork out by hand on there. So just so you know that.
Okay, that's a good one. And now, I forgot to mention in the beginning, Truist, most recent information is they pull from Equifax. Okay, so let's say, you know, your TransUnion is trash. Your Experian is also trash. Experian been ignoring you. You ain't been getting the results. But the Equifax looking good. You can go and get about $50,000, no docs, over at Truist. 25 on the personal, 25 on the business. Can you drop a money bag if that can help you out? Can you drop a money bag if this can help you out? So now we talking about Navy Federal. Navy Federal is the same play. This is what we did. I mean, it might go work other ways, but this is what we did, right? I've seen a 21-year-old get approved for a $30,000 card over there, business. 21. She be flipping. This 21-year-old a little different because she took the money and went and renovated a whole property herself. Right? Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So Quentin, you can message me and I'll send you the link as well. If you're talking about the Funding Essentials Fund.
Bags left and right. That's what I'm saying. Drop a money bag this can help you out. If you get Truist. So okay, I'm gonna give you some more banks if Truist is not in your state though. Okay, Navy Federal, same play, right? Now they pull from Experian on the business side. A lot of people know about the green and the gray card, you know what I mean, on the personal side, and they pull from TransUnion. So the thing is, it's like Navy Federal, once you go and get the inquiry on the personal side, it's kind of hard for you to try to remove that business inquiry. Like, let's say because typically if you get a business credit card, you can remove the inquiry if you never had any other products with that company. But a lot of people like to build up their personal credit with Navy Federal because, like we talked about, you want to have at least 2 cards over a $2,500 limit. Navy Federal definitely gonna give it to you. I seen somebody in here earlier was at a
685.
I don't know. What was it?
685.
Okay, and they got I think they got, how much did they get? I can't remember. It was like 7,100,
I believe. It was either 7,100 or 7,500.
Okay, yeah, that's a good start, right? So they definitely will give it to you. And then also, let me go back a little bit, backtrack a little bit. Drop some money bags if this is helping you out, because I'll be all over the place, but I'm gonna give it to you. So also, on the personal side, she also went to DCU. Okay, DCU gave her 22,500 on the personal credit card, right? So that's damn sure at the limit, right? That's damn sure at the limit with a 15% APR, okay? And then she was also able to get her first auto loan for $40,000 on the at DCU as well, right? And I'm not 100% sure where they pull from. I could probably find it, but I'll probably do that later on and then, tap back and give that to y'all. But look, so Navy Federal, now they're pulling from Experian on the business side. It's the same play. Now, the same play can be ran at KeyBank, okay? Now, I know KeyBank is not in everybody's state. And where does KeyBank pull from, Dom?
Equifax. And
soft pull.
Yeah, soft pull. And with KeyBank, if you put like $3,000 in there, you're going to have get better limits on those approvals as well. So if you put $3,000 between like a business checking and a business savings account, it's going to end up benefiting you. And then after you get the approval, you can pull that money. So for those of you that are getting tax returns back, you can put that $3,000 of that money, right? Like start your business, put $3,000 of that money into business checking, business savings account at KeyBank, and you'll be able to get approved. And I reached out to my KeyBank Connect yesterday to ask him about people opening accounts at KeyBank from other states. Now, I've heard some other people that have successfully opened accounts and have successfully gotten funding by driving to that state, because our guy says the thing is there's a lot of fraud. Okay, so banks are very scared of fraud. And what happens is, like, if you're opening a bank account and you're not doing business in that state, or you're not like a resident of that state, they're very wary when it comes to opening a bank account with you. Like, they really just, that most of the time they're just going to say no. All right. But my guy said that, like, if they were to go to and visit Pennsylvania to meet in person, that would make him more comfortable. So here's the thing. If you drive to the state near you, or you fly, like you happen to be visiting family in an area that KeyBank is at, I would suggest going in there and, you know, just be like, hi, like, I've heard so many great things about this bank. I just came here, you know, visiting family or whatever, and saying, like, I've heard nothing but great things about this bank. Huh?
On business.
Whatever. And I want to open an account with you guys. Like, I want to open a business account. And I saw your business credit card, and you guys have 0% interest for 18 months. Like, I want in, you know, like, go and talk to them. Why would they not want to open an account with you? Of course, there's going to be some people that are going to say, no, you know, we can't do that, unfortunately, blah, blah, blah. But you can definitely go and try. Like, the worst thing they're going to say is no. They're not going to report you to anything or anyone, you know, they're just going to say no. So that's what I say.
Yes.
Hold on.
But
all right, go ahead. We need to answer questions, but go ahead.
Oh, all right. I'm good. I ain't even really seeing all the questions probably. So you can read the questions.
Yeah, but with KeyBank, so you can get the credit card. If your business is less than 2 years old, you can get a business credit card from them. And you can also get not like a true business line of credit, but you can get an overdraft line of credit. Because, like, for my photo booth business, I think we were 5 months old, and we got approved for, I think, a $5,000 credit card from KeyBank. And then we also got approved for a $1,000 overdraft line of credit. Brand new business. Okay. And that's what our business got approved for. So, and then you can ask for increases, like, along the way. Anyway, let me go back here because I think there were some questions. Have you heard of Glacier Banks? Oh, I don't think I have.
No, it doesn't ring a bell to me.
After cleaning up your credit, what's the best route to build up starting from a 615 score? So there's a couple things, and I did mention this earlier in the live. I've been on live for a while now, so we'll post it again. But you will want to do some, like, credit builder accounts. So, like, Credit Strong is one of them. You can check out Self Lender, which I recommend. They're really great. And Mikhail has, like, personally used them, and I know students have personally used them and have gotten great results, like getting their score boosted after a month, 2 months, 3 months. I also suggest looking, if you're a member of Navy Federal, their pledge loan, their secured credit card. Like, both of them are very, very good products. If you're looking to build, also reporting your rent. So if you rent where you live, that's a great thing. You can report your rental history on your credit report. If you've only been there maybe like 6 months or so, I probably wouldn't add that, because if you're adding, it's almost like adding a new account if you've only had it if you've only lived there for 6 months, right? But if you've lived there for a year or longer, then that could be beneficial to you, because what happens when you add an account with 6 months on it, it's now going to recalculate the entire history of all of your cards together and figure out the average. So what happens when you add an account with a lower history than some other cards, it's going to lower your history, your average history. So
can I ask you a question?
Huh?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So you think if you own the house, you could still use Rental Karma?
I doubt it, because
Okay.
they're going to ask for like a deed or something. Like, that's public information. Like, they can go and look that up online. So I really doubt it that you'd be able to, like, double dip, you know, because they're already reporting your mortgage. I really doubt that you'd be able to double dip. But again, don't take it from me. Ask them, you know. I'd reach out to them and ask them, is this something that I can do? something that you could do is if you have kids that are over 18, you could report them and tell them that they pay you rent.
Yeah, right.
Pay you rent to live where they live, and that can help. Especially like think about it. If you lived in that house for a long time, like that's only going to help your kids. So no, you probably can't double dip and report your mortgage, that you already pay for, but you can help other people, by using it. How's police and fire? I heard police and fire is very, very good. I actually opened an account there because they're in our state. There's actually one that's like 15 minutes, 20 minutes from our house. I did everything online. I think I only had to do a $10 donation, something like that, to open an account.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm building the relationship with them, though. You guys are so amazing. Thank you. So are you. Do you still fix credit? Nope. We teach people how to do it for them because we did fix credit years ago, but we don't do it anymore because we weren't creating as big of an impact as we wanted to create. Like Mikhail and I have been entrepreneurs since what, Mikhail, 2013? Forever. And we always wanted to create a bigger impact than us. And with fixing other people's credit, yes, we were able to make an impact. We were able to help people to change their situation, but there's something more powerful about teaching people how to take the power themselves and have the knowledge to do it themselves, because in turn, when you learn how to do something, you're naturally going to talk to other people about it and teach other people about it, right? And share that information with them and build them up and help your community and things like that. So we knew that there was going to be more of a powerful impact in our community and in the world in general if we were to teach it than to do it. So, and if we did it while we taught it, we wouldn't have time to be on live like this. We wouldn't have time to do a lot of the things that we do. We wouldn't have time to take our kids to school, be here for them and go to sporting events. Like we won't be able to do that stuff. So
no.
Please save this slide. Yes, we will. Don't you need your foreign entity set first? So no, a lot of banks, you can certainly try, but a lot of banks don't like to fund based off of a foreign entity. They just don't. Not saying that you can't get approved, but you might not get approved for a lot, It might not be worth it, but you can certainly try. Have you ever heard of the Chime Credit Builder Card? I have heard of Chime. Hold on, let me Google them to kind of refresh my memory and see if it is something I heard of. I don't know if I've heard of it.
There's really no requirements to get into police and fire, right, Dom? You just need to
You might have to live in the state. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that might be
the only way to
that might definitely be one.
The only way to find out is to go on their website and you can apply on there.
Yeah.
But I
used
heard
to think that you had to be military or something too, and I was like, damn, we ain't never gonna get in.
Nope. Yeah, we used to think that. No, you don't have to.
Right. They give you can get, I think, a personal loan, a personal credit card, and an auto loan, all with one inquiry over there in 30 days. So I'm not sure where they pull from or anything. I could find out, but I'm not sure.
Chime, it looks like they're also a credit builder account. They have a debit card, but
they are
credit builder account. I don't know too much about them, but I would assume that they're very similar and competitive with the others that we talked about. What are your thoughts on the Built card?
So with the Chime card, right? Like you only really need like 3 or 4 of the credit builders. So like, what's the first one? Self. And then if you can get a secured card and a secured loan at the bank that you want to eventually get funding from, so that's 3. And then Self actually gives you 2, so that's 4. And then if you add Rental Karma, if you can't, you can add something like Boom Pay or Credit Strong, and then that's your like 4 to 5 right there. And then from there, you just let the other cards graduate, probably in like 3 to 6 months. Let those graduate, like the secured card. They'll graduate from that, and then
From there, you'll be able to get approved for a regular credit card with a decent limit from anywhere, and then you're off to the races.
So I looked up information on the Built card because I haven't looked into it lately, although I heard about it.
Alliant Credit Union is good.
So Built is what someone was asking about. You can earn reward points, I guess, if you pay your rent, and I guess you probably report it through them. I would assume that that's also great. I don't personally use them. So yes, someone said teaching people to fish. That's our ultimate goal. You know, like we want to teach you to fix your credit so that you can have better buying power in the future, right? So you can get better interest rates in the future, so that you can get higher limit credit cards in the future, so that you can go and start a business and invest that money into things that are going to double and triple the income, so that you can eventually leave that job that you hate, right? That you don't want to leave your kids for, or that you're not a morning person and you never were, and you don't want to get up in the morning and go to work, right? So like, you don't have to do that forever if you don't want to. So having good credit and learning the foundations of having good credit and the fundamentals, that's going to be step number one to completely changing your life. What's the requirements to open an account with police and fire? I think we already answered that. Is Franklin Mint good? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think they do lend out on the business side.
Okay. I'd have to Google.
I think they give out $25K, no doc. I think they're on my list. I ain't dropped that video yet. I got some stuff in the tuck for y'all.
Let's see. Someone to the person that commented credit, you want to message it to Mikhail or me. I'm Will Kennedy said, does it matter where deposits are coming when opening a new business account? No, it does not. So the beauty of that is, if you, let's say you are like, okay, cool, like I got $3,000 or less, whatever. You can use that money to open the bank account, get the funding that you need, and then you can pull that money and put it at the next bank that you want to go and get funding from. Or you could split it up between multiple banks. Like, it's up to you.
That's what they need to be doing with their tax return. Like, just taking like 3 racks or 5 racks, have it to the side. I'm going to put this in these banks to build relationships and pull it out.
Yeah.
And it's not going to look like income. Like, it's, well, what would that transaction be? What would that type of transaction be? Like them putting the deposit in there and stuff.
What do you mean?
Like, you know how you can track it on QuickBooks and stuff?
Oh, it's an owner investment.
All right.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, cause people, I feel like people when they're starting out, like I don't worry about that stuff because Dominique handles all that. Her and Lewis, who was on here earlier, they handle all the tax stuff or whatever. But like when I was starting, like I was always nervous. Like, damn, like people are nervous about depositing money into a business bank account. They don't know what is going to happen. They think they're going to get screwed on taxes. They getting taxed on that, like everything. And they just don't know that they can actually categorize that transaction.
Yeah. And that's why it's important to also have a tax representative that knows what they're doing, and it's somebody that you can reach out to get assistance, because like we know the things about taxes that we need to know for our businesses, but we don't know enough to give advice on that. Like, I don't feel comfortable giving advice. Like, I know it works for me and for my household and for my businesses, but that's not my thing. I bought the Credit Essentials bundle back in December, have just one charged off account to remove before applying for funding. Yay!
Right there.
That's so
right there, right on the cusp of things, man.
That's
about to be a game changer, man.
I said that is such a good feeling.
Yes.
Especially like when you do it yourself, like you just feel so accomplished. That's so cool.
Let me see.
I'm gonna hop on.
I think that's all I got for now.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
I gave them 3 banks. or I actually gave y'all 4 banks that's blessing people right now. Currently today, people probably getting more approvals as we speak. So we gave y'all some good banks. Dominique gave y'all some great information on exactly what y'all need to do to start fixing up your credit. And if you need more help, you can DM us the word credit to get access to the free class. If you're ready to take this to the moon, get access to the course, and just dive in and start working.
3 questions quick. Okay, so how many business bank accounts should I start off with? That doesn't really matter. I would open bank accounts at the banks where you want to get funding from in the future. Like, make sure you're not opening a bank account just to open a bank account. Because, like, we did that at a credit union that didn't offer business credit of any kind. So it's literally just like a waste. How much is it if I want to pay y'all? So we don't fix credit. We only teach people how to fix credit themselves. If that's something that you're interested in doing. We also offer not just our DIY, but you get access to our Facebook group where we we answer questions, offer support. So even though it is DIY, you're not doing it yourself. Like, you are doing it yourself, but you have a place that you can go to ask questions if you get stuck or if you're just unsure before you hit submit. Like, you can send a screenshot and say, hey, am I cool? You know, things like that. And I was saying earlier in the slide that I use our Facebook group like Google. You can keyword search certain things in our Facebook group. So half the time, you might not even need to ask the question that you have. You might just be able to go in and search our Facebook group and get it before even having to ask. So our course is $97 one time. We don't charge monthlies, anything like that. Like, we want you to get in and get your shit.
Right. Right. Lexington Law charging y'all $1.50 a month. Right there. I'm about to go to their site and find out.
They don't even do anything. I have a question. I tried to remove my hard increase from Equifax and Experian. They told me that I would have to call the creditors. Yeah, that's false. You don't have to do that. They're stalling. So what I would recommend to you is I would recommend keep calling. This kind of goes back to one of our students. She had to call 20 times in order to get in touch with somebody that actually was able to remove what she needed removed. So don't take no, the first no, or the second no, or the third no, or the fourth no, and so on as your final answer. Keep fighting.
Facts.
Keep calling.
Lexington Law is $99, so we already beating them on the upfront.
Yeah.
And then $139 a month.
Yeah, heck no. Thanks, guys. This was helpful. You are very welcome. And I'll make sure to post this live so you guys can go and reference back to it.
I have Kickboy Lloyd said I wasted money with Lexington Law.
That's what most people say. Like, waste of money. 100%. All right, guys.
Got a good website.
We're going to wrap this up. We have some work that we need to do on our end. But yeah, if you want access to the Credit Essentials bundle, first link in either of our bios. It is $97 one time. You get access to our private Facebook group. So even though you're doing it yourself, you're not alone doing it. You have a place to ask questions. We do not do like one-on-one consultations all the time, but yes, there's a link in my bio if that's something you're interested in. However, I will say that just by purchasing one of our courses and getting access to our Facebook group is going to be a better deal for you, because it's a place you can ask literally like unlimited questions versus paying us $300 for 30 minutes of our time to answer a few questions that we have a course already put together that answers all your questions and more. So if you're interested in getting business credit or starting a business, then DM me. I can get you our Funding Essentials bundle link. That is not something that we have going on all the time. So you'd have to personally inbox me for that link, okay? How long have you been doing credit consulting? For quite some time. I also have a banking experience of 16 plus years. So I've been in the financial industry for quite some time. I've been able to fix other people's credit when I first started out, fixed my own credit. I actually fixed my own credit first, then fixed family members, then helped hundreds of other people. And now I solely teach people how to do it themselves. And we have over 1,300 people in our Facebook group alone. And we've sold thousands of our course to other people, but just not everybody wants to be on Facebook and joins the Facebook group. So if you guys have any questions, you can send me a DM or go and purchase one of our courses and you'll get invited into the Facebook group and we will chop it up in there. I hope you guys have a great Friday and I'll talk to you next time.